Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast, adding games with new knowledge to your backlog, one slightly inappropriate episode at a time. My name is Christian, and next up is Cyberpunk 2077. Unless we get fested, join us today is Amanda. Join us today.
That's right. I'm back in the drug lab, but this time I brought all the fun guys.
Oh, that was really good off the shelf. Okay. This week we're going to be talking about drugs. Just kidding. Cyberpunk 2077 in Schedule 1. But first, Amanda, what's new?
Well, exciting thing. I got back a little bit on the, I suppose, earlier side from camping this weekend, just in time to slide in and make it to the Vancouver Game Garden. This is a event that happens where a whole bunch of local Vancouverites show off their indie games that they're making. And so I met a lot of really cool developers. I'm going to kind of speed run some of the ones that I thought were the coolest. I'd say there probably was about 20-ish to 25 people there showcasing their games. Super stoked as well right off the rip to say that there was actually a representation there for Desktop Explorer. We've talked to them before. I've interviewed them. They had their artist there and a friend that was showing Pizarro and showing all the things in their demo. Their game's coming out on the 17th. Yeah, they're on Netflix. So I was
just looking at the charts, and I think they're within the top 20 or something. Like, really good showing for them in Next Fest. So
they should. They're gonna. It's so good. If you haven't checked them out, haven't checked out the demo, do check them out. Desktop Explorer is awesome. It's been in the making for a while now, probably about 2 years, 3 years. I met the developer team at PAX in Seattle, and they were really awesome and made a huge impact on me. And so I'm so happy to see that they are releasing their game on July 17th. It's coming up, so check it out. But they were there, which was awesome. So I got to say hi and was like super stoked. But some of the new games that I saw that were really cool was there was this one called Bash Moto, which was it's kind of like a play on Road Rash, if you remember that game. So you're like on a motorcycle and you're racing, except you can steal people's weapons and then hit them with it or kick them off their bikes, and it's sick. And it's done in this like hyper stylized kind of art where we were talking to the developer. He actually did all the art in 3D and then re-rendered it back into like 2D. So it's got this really cool like arcadey feel to it.
God, I have to break our rule. I'm clicking.
You got to check it out. It's very cool, and everything is done by just one guy. He's doing all of it by himself. Super cool. That's Bash Moto. Check that one out. We saw also too something that I think, Christian, you would really love. You're about to break your rule again because you should check out Spore Bloom. Spore Bloom is cool. It's a strategy game that reminded me a little bit like Catan, a little bit like Civ, but it's also filled with fun guys. So talking mushrooms, talking spores. You create like these kind of entire networks of mycelium and take over against your enemies. And this was super fun. I will say the game crashed on the Steam Deck, but that's okay because it was. I feel like this is perfect for a keyboard and mouse.
On the Steam page, there's just a picture of a croissant with mushrooms growing out of it. Explain themselves. Explain yourself, Spore Bloom.
That is hilarious, actually. Yeah, there is an entire croissant with fungi growing out of it. But it is a very cool strategy game that I thought was really, really interesting and a really fun take. And it had a lot more complexity to it. Like the wind will take your spores further or not. So there's all these different things that kind of impact your ability to spread and grow mushrooms. Another game that was really interesting was one of the top developers who was a part of the team that made For the King and For the King 2 broke off and created his own kind of brand, his own thing. And so he developed and created this game called Pin Pow, which is kind of like if you took pinball and mixed it in a D&D world, but it also has Slay the Spire elements. Like I felt a lot of Slay the Spire-ness to it, but it's all pinball games. And it's awesome. It runs amazing on the Steam Deck. He already won me over when he walked up to me with a Steam Deck and was like, "Hey, do you want to try this demo?" And I was like, "Oh God, yeah. How did you know I'm hunting for Steam Deck games always?" This game was awesome, super fun. There's not a demo out yet, but I know that he plans on doing it. And I'm looking for. It was super fun to play, so I'm really excited for that one. The last one that I thought was just like it blew my mind. It's a game called Speech Bound, a language RPG. And it's this sci-fi kind of actiony RPG where you learn a new language the entire time because you have this like nav integrated thing into your body that allows you to communicate with people on the planet that you're visiting. But people on the planet that you're visiting is like a real world language. So you can select that, like, I want to learn French. And when you get to this planet, everybody speaks French. But because you have this navigational, they call it the nav, because you have that, you're able to seamlessly flip back and forth between English and French. And then you collect vocabulary words, which allows you, that's kind of your loot as you're going around and exploring, is you're collecting vocab. And then you have to battle in these turn-based combats against monsters. And you do that by formulating sentences and translating into the language you want to learn. And those are like your attacks and your defense. It's done really, really well. I've seen a lot of like language learning games and different styles of it, and I just think that this one was probably the most fun I've had that felt like a full-fleshed like game where you're actually learning as well. But the team said that so if you can, go check out Speechbound, a language RPG, try and download that demo. When I talked to the developer of that, he said that they're actually planning on trying to take this off of Steam in the next few months because they're trying to present it as more of a startup and turn it into a browser game and integrate it into schools so that way children can learn language using this. So I don't know how much longer this is going to be like a game instead of a lesson plan, but it's so sick. There's an hour of demo in there already. And you can learn French, you can learn, I think, German or Spanish or English right now. And it was really cool.
Sweet. I love going to these in-person events because it's a completely different vibe to go up to someone who's made something and play it in front of them, have them perhaps guide you a bit, or, you know, like the environment is also electric. Just everyone around you is playing games, and you know everyone is just as big of a nerd as you are. Yeah,
totally.
Can't get enough of these like show off events that like feature devs, like your PAXs. And I mean, this one seems like a small one. There's another smaller one in Edmonton called GameCon Canada as well. Kind of like one of these show offy events, but nothing. It's not like a Gamescom where it's like, oh my God, I can barely walk around this place.
Yeah. And this one, I guess they redid kind of the layout for it. It felt way more open and it was a lot easier for people to walk around it and stuff. Is there something in Edmonton called like the Game Derby? Because I'm pretty sure the guy... GameCon, okay, because the guy that made Pin Pow, I think he had said that he was going there next.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it was such a good time. And you're right, to be able to talk to people, like at Spore Bloom, we met the like solo creator who also brought his art sketchbook to show all the concept art that he created in creating Spore Bloom. And it's like, I was like, damn, you're a fucking artist, dude. This looks amazing. Like the Bashmoto guy, it was really cool talking to him and getting to like hear a lot more of his process and how, because it really helps as well going to these events when you are like engaged to a developer as well. Because like my partner will just start talking shop basically with people, and then like I watch both of them just completely open up like flowers and start nerding about like the process, and I'm just like, this is great.
That's so awesome.
It's fantastic. But yeah, what was new with you, Christian?
So I received this super mysterious package in the mail from something called Gastropod Trails. And at first I was like, this might be anthrax. Like, you know, you never know. It was a thick, meaty envelope. Like there's lots of meat in there. And you never want an envelope of meat, right? You don't know what people are going to send you. So I opened it and I found a beautiful pink clamshell couch bookmark and wall art, which I'll show off here.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
And a couch-themed short story and a couch-themed true anecdote. This is all a pleasure to read through, I would say. They asked me what would I pay for this monthly, and I was trying to think like the enjoyment I got out of it, the bookmark. I always lose my bookmarks. So that alone is, I think, pretty good. like $7, I'm pretty sure, like something around there. You know, you got like a handwritten story, you have someone who's trying to improve their art and their storytelling ability, and you get the enjoyment of going through that. And the bookmark, I think, honestly kind of sells it for me, because like this is one of the most useful pieces of technology right now. In between one of my books, I have a blade of grass.
Yeah. So a little like side note thing, and for our listeners, like I'm trialing this snail mail thing to see if I can develop. It is me. I'm Gastropod
You are Gastropod Trails.
I'm workshopping that name, but yes, it is me. I'm working on it. I'm trying to create a fictional short story that's inspired by a real story. And moving forward, they're all going to be focused on actual trails, parks. I've been to so many national parks across the United States, and I'm absolutely like continuing that trend here in Canada. And lots of stories happen from it. I've seen a lot of silly shit and crazy things and like stuff. So I want to write about it, but I want to work on creating more short form fiction inspired by these things. And funny note about the bookmark is that was such a pain in the butt with the printer. Like we had to create a holder for the paper to get it to work. And at one point my partner's like, do we need to keep doing the bookmarks? Like, it's kind of a pain. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, if it were me receiving it, like the bookmark would also sell me. So I'm like, no, we're keeping the bookmark is like almost more important than the rest of it.
Whenever I buy a new book and they give me like a beautiful bookmark I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I try as much as possible to go to like independent bookstore. Like I never want to see myself, if at all possible, at like an Indigo or a Chapters or anything like that. Because honestly, the quality of bookmarks does just not compare. You have like branded Star Wars or, you know, stuff they know is going to sell. And then like you'll go to like the independent bookstore and it'll just be like some wacky sex shit
there's a small bookstore in downtown Vancouver that I want to say is called, it might be Greyhound Books. I want to say it's something hound, like a dog. And their bookmark is so cute. Their bookmark is so cute. It's like half of it is made of to be like an origami little dog, and then you can use the ear to kind of like go over the page.
See,
but I feel you, dude.
You're never gonna get that at an Indigo. Get out of the Indigo. Don't go to Indigo. Hey, if you're on your way to Indigo right now, if you're in the car, turn around. Find a safe place to park. Google bookstore. And any name you don't recognize, go to that one, you know?
Yeah. Or when I was in Oakland, California, there was this really amazing, like, Black-owned bookstore where it's called Marcus Books, and every month their bookmark would be different and would be an entire bookmark of, like, African art to, like, showcase either Black artist or African artist. And I was like, that's awesome. You're right. Like, the bookmark makes it, dude. It's special. So we're keeping the fucking bookmark in there.
A good bookstore is like a community asset, you know, like something that should be treasured.
Totally.
Anyways, we're hopping on down to what this podcast is about, playing games. Hey, do we play games? Hey, do you play games?
Yeah.
Hey, you ever play the games? Hey, tell me. Hey, how many games you played?
You sound like one of my people, my patrons, one of my
Hey, give me some jugs. And how many games you play? Okay, tell us about it.
That's right. We're talking about playing video games. I went back and revisited. Speaking of community pillars, like a bookstore, I am creating a pillar of the community in Schedule 1. That's right. I'm back to slinging drugs, guys. Nice. Don't clip that. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's clipped. But no, I'm replaying Schedule 1. It's been like, I looked at it. It's been over about a year since I have played it last, so it's been quite a good chunk of time. And I remember now that this is a full-time job. This game will definitely suck you in for sure. But there's a bunch of new cool shit that I want to check out, and I'm playing with a different friend about this, and it's just the two of us making this game, and it's so fascinating.
Does this friend know about drugs in real life?
Maybe.
Okay, because I don't know, something about like, it would be extra fun if you went into this game with someone who's like I just had my first sip of alcohol, or like someone who's very straight laced.
No, funny enough, this friend that I'm playing with, in our younger years, we've done a good chunk of, I would say a good chunk, because like meth is like a big, we've never done meth, but like definitely the weed, and like the new thing that's in this game is mushrooms. So the first time I ever did either of those two was with this friend. So like it's very fun in the other way. So it's a fun time. But what's great is he's got like severe OCD, and so it's really interesting because he normally doesn't play with anybody else ever, and so the two of us are figuring out our flow, because this game is like you're creating a drug empire, and like that comes with a lot of logistics, that comes with a lot of management. We got different management styles. If you want to really know how well you vibe with a friend and whether you could live with them as a roommate, become drug dealers together in Schedule 1, because you're like,
wait, no, that is the step. Okay, before you move in, you have to sell drug. I love that. That's new rule. That's new DLG rule. Put it in the show Bible. Before you move in with anyone, you've got to sell drugs together. There's nothing wrong with what you've just said. Oh, in Schedule, I feel like in Schedule 1, or in real life, perhaps.
That's true. I can't encourage people to do that, but that you definitely will learn about management style, whether somebody's organized, whether they're clean. Do they throw away their trash when they're putting in the new soil in the weed pot plants, or do they just like have it down to a system, right? And so it's super cool, but I have noticed some really big differences from the last time I played to the time I played now. Like I can definitely tell, dude, the police are no joke now. Like the cops before in Schedule 1, it was always a joke, because like they would try and get you and you'd be like, ha ha ha, and you run around a corner and they'd be like, I don't know where they are, and then you just have to sit there and you're fine. Now these motherfuckers will come to your house, they will follow, they'll call in reinforcements, and people will just come. The amount of times that I've gotten tased already, and my buddy's gotten tased, we've been thrown in jail already, is just way too goddamn high compared to last year. I'm almost like, yo, these cops are hard. Like it's difficult now. We gotta move
to Amsterdam where they don't care.
Yeah. I know, right? I'm like, all of this shit for a little bit of weed? God
for
damn.
Mushrooms? Come on.
Yeah, so I'm really stoked. Still definitely actively playing it, because this game is a slow burn, right? You spend a bunch of hours kind of building things up before you really progress. I have not seen, there is cartel now in this game. There is mushrooms now in this game. And so I'm really looking forward to checking them out and playing a lot more of that. I was already watching. They got the whole setup. You got your little grain bag, and you got your little syringe of spores, and you like put them in, and you got to have the temperature just right, and they've added AC. Cool. And so they have all this stuff now that they've added in the last year, and they've optimized it. I think it runs a lot better now, and I think that there's more cars, and there's just like more shops and more things to get. It was already so much fun, and I feel like a knockout when it came out. I loved this game when it came out, and now it's just even more fun, and it's really fun to play with a friend, especially one that doesn't always play multiplayer like ever. So a ton of things we're like figuring out together, from like how we go about stuff. Like I was sitting there and I was telling him, I was like, hey, always add an extra $10 when somebody wants to buy something. They're like, I'll pay you $250 for like seven nugs, and I go, no, you're gonna pay me $260. And then my buddy's like, no, I'm just trying to be like the friendly neighborhood drug dealer. Like this area is really poor, and I'm not trying to strip as much money from people as possible. And I'm like, so awesome. I'm like, damn, am I the problem? Shit, am I coming in here like I'm like evil, like capitalist dude coming in here being like, get all the money you can. Should we flood them with meth and make them addicted? Like I'm like, man, am I an evil person? So I feel like I'm a better person now playing with my friend, because I'm like, you know what? Yeah, if that's all they can afford, then that's all they can afford. We'll be fine.
So when I used to sell weed, it wasn't like a full-time thing. It was usually just like for my friends and acquaintances, but I think I patented this. If anyone has run into this, let me know, because I think I started it. I would put a double baggie all the weed. So in the first baggie, the weed goes. In the second baggie, the bounce sheet goes. And then you roll it up beautifully all together. So it would just smell like bounce sheets. If you're driving around in the car, it would never smell like weed, but your weed wouldn't smell like bounce sheets because you have that degree of separation.
And you have a bookmark. You just gave people a bookmark. It's a bounce sheet, dude. It sells it.
Yeah. And it a very nice smelling bookmark too. Bookmarks, a lot of them don't smell. I think they could be improved on. Yeah.
I wonder now you got me curious, dude. I think I'll have to spray some see if it goes across provincial lines.
Yeah,
you know
try that out in Schedule 1. Just try it out in the business first. See if Yeah.
Put it in the bounce. See if I can get bounce sheets and put it in there. But it is funny to me how like the kind of trash that gets laid around. Like there's massive pink bongs everywhere, and me and my buddy were both like, "There's no fucking way somebody would just throw their pink bong out
it's
like a
$300 bong." Yeah,
absolutely not. But yeah, it was such a great time. But I mean, I want to hear, and I feel like I encourage everybody to. The games that you haven't played in over a year or years, you should play, and maybe play with either an expert of the game who has like hundreds of hours in it, or a brand new noob, like one or the other of the extreme kind of spectrums. Because my buddy that I'm playing with, even though he never really plays multiplayer games, he played the shit out of Schedule 1. Like, hundreds of hours in it, was already giving me all these tips, and I've already put like 40 some hours into it before I took my break. So it wasn't like I was brand new, but I was also like, all right, fucking word, I'm learning lots of new shit, which is really cool. But when was the last time, like what game was it for you that you took like a year break and then you went back and it was like the most refreshing breath of air of something that was familiar?
See, I have that list of Revisited 1.0 on my Steam library, so I do try and check up on games, but I don't think I've ever been like blown away by the amount of changes that has happened. Maybe I was really burnt out on Nine Kings, and then when it released, I was surprised of how much fun I was still having. I was like, oh, I thought I reached the end of this game. Like I can do no more. I've quote beat it. Like I've unlocked all the abilities. I've gone to the king difficulty on every single run. And then they introduced these 2 new factions. I think they made some other small balancing tweaks in all the other factions. And then I went back to it. I was like, oh, this is the good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing
top shelf.
Nothing that's been like completely different or that's like really like blown me out of the water surprising wise. Where I was like, whoa, I never would have expected 9 Kings. Now it's 14 Kings and it's a platformer. That would have been, although they did add multiplayer, I was like, oh, this is really clever. Like there have been clever moments where you revisit a game and you're like, oh, you did this adjacent thing. Of course you did. That makes perfect sense. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, the Nine Kings multiplayer is like a stroke of genius because it's asynchronous. So you don't have to be even connected to Wi-Fi as long as sometime whenever you are connected, if you're playing on your Steam Deck, the next time you are on Wi-Fi, it sends your run. And then you are contributing, and it had already downloaded the run the last time you were on Wi-Fi of everyone else that was going to be in this multiplayer session. So in that way, I think it's quite clever. And the numbers go up. Multiplayer is super addicting. It's like, oh shit,
super fun.
There's other people here now. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, nice. Speaking of a game that you kept going back to, continue to go back to, and now is it done? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
I swear I'd finish Cyberpunk. Didn't I, Amanda? Didn't I promise you?
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Didn't I promise everyone listening to this show? I said next episode, I am going to finish Cyberpunk. And people, DLG Nation, we don't have like a word for DLGers. DL pissers. we don't have a word for you, but I want to say I was bitten by a little bug. You may have heard of it. It's called the Nextfest bug. What am I to do against a sea of demos? I'm just a man. I'm just a man who likes video games. I can't be held liable for playing like 4 hours of Cyberpunk and 10 hours of Steam Next Fest demos.
This is going to be like Bobby and his Doom saga, right? We're just going to always be hearing about Cyberpunk for the next like 10 years.
Yeah. So I did play Cyberpunk. Yeah, it's still good. There's nothing to talk about. Nothing that I want to talk about. I really want to get to the end and share my thoughts. I hope they tie it all together, right? I hope it sticks the landing. What I'm going to talk about is not that. So there are as many games in this Next Fest, June 2026, as there were games that released on Steam in 2016. Like the amount of demos of free experiences you can just click through and have is honestly pretty insane. And the depth in each genre is just unheard. Like you'll probably play 20 games in each genre before you reach a game where you're like, oh, that wasn't the best, if you're going by like top played demos, right? Mm-hmm. Luckily for me, the first 2 days of Next Fest were completely random, Amanda. There is a little tab that they've added at the top that says, do you want to switch between algorithm and random? Algorithm only kicks in 2 days into Next Fest on Wednesday. So I downloaded all my demos as soon as Next Fest came out, randomly through the genres I was interested in. And I've been having a great time. And now that I see the charts, I'm realizing none of the demos that I downloaded are trending in any of the genre charts. Like, I never would have found these if it had not been for the completely random mode. And I think there's, honestly, these 3 games I'm going to talk about, it was difficult getting them down. But I think, filtering down all the games I played to these 3 that I want to talk about. But I think these are really special, and they're likely not games that you're going to find on your Next Fest, just judging on how it works now with the algorithm based on what you've played in your Steam library and the demo plays of everything in Next Fest. So I would like to talk, Amanda. First game, Battlements. It's an arcade remake of Rampart. Did you ever play this one?
No, and I'm breaking, obviously, our rule of looking at the Steam of this because, dude, you're right. Like, the Steam page Next Fest is so much, and I started a whole bunch as well, too. There's only one that I will add to this segment, by the way, that I think is worthy of the ones that I've tried and played, but I didn't know about that, about the algorithm and, like, the randomness of it and then changing it up. So, no, I have not played Rampart, and I'm looking at this, and this looks... you already sold me on pirates, to be honest with you. Like, so there's pirates in this.
It's really simple. You're building walls outside of a fortress, and you have 15 seconds to build as many walls as you can with your mouse clicker, and they come to you in like Tetris randomness. So you're like, oh, I have a line piece, I have like an L piece, et cetera, et cetera. And after you're finished building your walls, if you connect them all, the ground underneath turns blue, and now you can put cannons on that area. So you're constantly expanding your fortress, and then you're putting cannons in the middle if you successfully connect that area. And then pirates invade you from the shore, and you have to fire all your cannons at the invading pirates. But there's this delay. So there'll be like 20 pirate ships that appear, and you'll have like 6 cannons, and you only have 1 mouse clicker. So all the cannons are shooting in the same area. But because of the distance of each of the cannons in your base and the time it takes to travel, they're not always going to land at the same time or where you want. So you're constantly having to like readjust your cannons, and the whole time you're a sitting duck. The pirates are blasting you to pieces. That's where your walls come in to protect your cannons. So it's super fun, and the best mode by far is multiplayer. So instead of facing pirates, you are facing other people's fortresses, and I think this game is like a stroke of genius. It's just like good dumb fun, right? Like there's not a lot to it. There's like a roguelike progression system, but it's soft. Like mostly this does feel like an authentic arcade game that you would just hop on like a Killer Queen Black or something, and you could just have fun with any random people you find at the bar, right? And I think that's great. So thank you for putting Battlements on Steam. Whoever made Battlements, I should probably know. Next up is Dead Reckoning, The Long Drift. So I haven't played a text-based RPG in a long time. This is one where you command a colony ship of 1,000 pods, and it's very Oregon Trail, where it's like there's really no right decision. Sometimes a decision that seems right leads you to an asteroid smacking the side of your ship and 500 colonists die, right? Like there's a degree of randomness that's fun, but there's also a management aspect that goes really deep. Like there's internal politics on your ship, the resources, the route that you're taking to find this new colony, the purpose of what your crew feels like when they're doing the mission. There's so many details. You can click through like each cryopod and view the colonist, what they like, what their background was, how old they are, like there's so much to it, and it's all through this text-based user interface, very minimal graphics, and it looks like it's like straight out of Alien, like a really old before Windows. It's super thought-provoking and fun, and again, this is not showing up in the charts. This is probably not anything you're going to find. And I had so much fun with it. I was like, they give you too much in the demo too. I hate when they do that. I'm like, you need to put a cap on this because people are going to play this game and they're not going to buy it. They're going to have all their fun. They're going to splurge in the demo. Not going to have anything left for when this comes out. But if you like text-based RPGs or these sort of random narrative games, like if you're a fan of Oregon Trail, if you played that as a kid, definitely check out Dead Reckoning: The Long Drift. And then the last one is, what are you doing right now, Amanda? You look very quizzical. What's happening? Are you captivated by something I'm talking about?
I am curious about Dead Reckoning because I haven't explored anything like it. When I first looked at it, I was like, I don't know if I would be into it. And so, yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah, download it after this podcast.
Yeah.
And if you haven't played a text-based RPG out there, do it. I mean, there's, this one is really fulfilling. This one's well made. I think this one might be a sleeper. This one might take off. There was that game called, was it The Road or The Rift? It was another classic text-based RPG, but that one had a little bit more graphics and like a pretty rudimentary combat system, but it was mostly focused on the text. I'm butchering this. I can't remember the exact name, so have fun with that as you're listening to this. The next one I'm going to talk about is Gods and Gore, which is a classic TD set in ancient Greece. The graphics are like straight out of Age of Empires 2. Sometimes you just want a classic TD. Like, this is the user experience I want, Amanda. Christian pays $6. Christian gets a decent TD, no upsell. There is no buy the pack with the fire towers. There is no, we've released 50 other games like this. They're all in a bundle. And now that you finish this level, watch a short ad. TDs are like mobile soup that has been ported to Steam a lot of the time. And it's nice to just get classic. This is the TD I grew up with. I feel it in my bones.
I feel like out of the three that you've talked about, this one seems to feel the most like an algorithm based on the games that you like to play. I feel, it's got your classic. It's like very clean lines, very nice and organized, and the TD. I know that you're quite good at them as well too, and enjoy them. So it's nice. There's like a modern take to this art though too. Like it feels like it's an old classic Greece inspired TD, almost like I'm not a city builder, but it's got the organization parts of that. But the artwork, I think it does feel more modern to it, which is cool. I just saw, I think on here, it looks like some Cthulhu god Minotaur thing. And it's it's done pretty well, man. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah. So you're building, you're trying to protect your mausoleum from these invading Persians or whatever, the story is whatever, but it's all about the synergies of your towers and your god powers. And it's this is nothing new is happening here. Honestly, it's just really well done. And because they've done nothing new and they haven't added this weird modern twist that you see in a lot of TDs, it's just really satisfying to play. So those are the three games that you might not have been served to on Steam. If you're interested in Steam Next Fest, go check out the demos, go check out the main pages, and give them a try.
Yeah. Yeah, there's dude, Steam Next Fest is so good. And I'm not gonna lie, selfishly, I'm happy that you're talking about it. I wanted to hear about Cyberpunk, but I'm personally so rusty on Cyberpunk. I haven't played it since 2020 that I was like, dang, I hope that that's not boring for our listeners to hear, where I just like can't keep up. But Next Fest, there's so many games. I feel like there's just been so many games out in general. It's like back to back, we're not getting break. I need to come up for some air, you know what I mean? Because it's like we had the Summer Games Fest, all these things released, all these things going on, and then it was like right after that Next Fest, and it's just there's so many demos and they're so cool.
This needs to be our full-time job. Like there's no other way to do it. There's too many games. Like no one has the time.
It's too many games. Yeah.
And some of them, like what a testament to Next Fest. I think Steam desperately trying to invent a festival that breaks the trending charts of like most sold, how traditionally storefronts have operated with their visibility, and really tries to make it either random or algorithmically based and give devs a decent shot at being even seen against all these games, right? Like, yeah, I think this is a cool. There's so many criticisms against Next Fest that have happened in the past. And in my view, Valve has just constantly tried to make it more about serving small games to people who actually want to play them instead of amplifying already huge games to people who obviously love them, right? Like, if you like shooters, does it make sense that Steam recommends you every Call of Duty, you know? Or does it make sense that they recommend you like a BattleBit or like a new game trying to do something that you haven't seen before, unique in the genre that you like, right? And if you go to like PlayStation Store or something, you're going to have a lot more typical experience than you will on Steam. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. So you were saying that the first 2 days of Steam Next Fest, it was random itself, or it was catered towards the algorithm of what you've played?
No, it's completely random. The first 2 days are completely random. You can search by genre, so you can go seek out, like, of course, the first place I went to is strategy, but all the, like, there was some rough looking games in there. I was like, oh damn, I don't know if I'm gonna.
That honestly though, that makes me feel so much better to know that, because like, yeah, I jumped in right on day one, and I picked up a bunch of things because I was like, I'll try it, but I was like, man, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I played this one game called The Mansion of Whispering Desires, and it was like, it looked like a visual novel anime thing where I really wanted to like it, but it was so out of the genre or anything that I would normally play. But I'm glad I checked it out, and I think that's so cool that. And now is it that you have the option to switch between random or something? That's awesome. Yeah, because I think it's so worth it. There was another one that I have on here called The Unleaving that I need to play it. It was inspired by Chinese folklore stories, and it has this creepy feel to it. And I really only got to see the beginning where you're like driving and dealing with like a Nokia phone, and like it's really, they've done such a great atmospheric job with it, but it's not a kind of game I would have ever really tried or played. And I'm like, I'm ready to start branching out of my like comfort zone with some of these algorithms and some of these genres. And so like Next Fest is perfect for that, especially if you can, you know, because I feel like so many times everything is catered towards an algorithm. I'm missing that random spice. I'm missing somebody being like, just eat this. You might like it. Try it. Right. And so
that's, the same thing with going to any of these in-person gaming events is like, that's part of it too, right? Like a part of it is you might feel bad. You might go up to a booth. There's someone standing there. They're like, do you want to play my game? You're like, well, not in a million years, but because I'm standing here and you're looking at me and you're a person and I'm a person, then I'm going to play it. And then all of a sudden, you know, that's perhaps how you break through into something that you just weren't acclimatized to before, right? You're like, oh, this skateboarding game is actually really fun. I haven't played a skateboarding game in 20 years and I never would have picked it up otherwise. And now I'm having a blast and I'm considering maybe buying it when it comes out. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So now we're going to mosey on down to Amanda. What do you want to play?
I want to play this game that I've only put a few hours in on the Steam Deck, and it's called Voidling Bound. So imagine that you're in the world that's kind of like a Biotic Factor, but with really, really beautiful, like really nice, high rendered graphics, right?
Okay.
And it has this feeling of Pokemon where you're collecting these creatures. They're called the Voidlings. And the Voidlings live on this like planet where it's kind of dying and being pushed against by this like diseased, globby, gross monster kind of ick thing going on. And so you connect and bind with a Voidling to have them attack and clean and cleanse this planet like on your behalf. So it's kind of like your mind, their body, but you have this synergistic kind of relationship where you're bound to this, they're bound to you, you're connected. And so you go through these different evolutions, but not evolutions like Pokemon, evolutions that are way more like a science nerd in a lab. And so you can upgrade all of your Voidlings and all your different creatures, and you collect them. You can collect multiple ones of the same species and like completely evolve them into different ways. And a lot of times they sync with like elements, so you could have like an ice one or a fire one. So they have different, like I said, creatures. There's like a little bird guy. There's like a lizard looking guy. There's a whole bunch of different.
What do you
ones.
want? You've played so much of this. What do you want from it in the future? Like, what is interesting it?
Well, I only just discovered, like, I just unlocked, like, the second Voidling type. There's a bunch of them. Like, I'm not even close to catching them all. I want to see what happens. I want to clear this planet. And I want to catch them all. Yeah, I want to catch all the Voidlings and bind to them. And
are they
I feel like
legally distinct from Pokemon, or is it, like, uncomfortably?
No, it's very different. They like I said, there's, like, almost abiotic factor vibe to it.
Okay, cool. So they're not going to get sued by Nintendo anytime soon.
I highly doubt it. I think that like the concept of you're collecting these creatures is there, and that's the same as Pokemon, but like it's so different in all other ways. Like there is no put them in a ball and send them out. There's none of that. Like these animals are living in a vivarium that you are creating almost like a big zoo, and you're taking care of them as well in between missions. And then you go down and fight missions, but that's only after you have bound with them and like created the neural link.
This is like ethical Pokemon. Like the weird thing about Pokemon is like, I'm your best friend. Now get in the ball, bitch.
Yeah, and I'm gonna trap you. Yeah, no, it's not like that. And Pal World was so similar to that too, obviously. But no, this is very different. This is like we found an egg and this is more like Jurassic Park, actually, where like you're like, we found an egg and we're going to incubate it, and now we've created an environment for them to live in. But then we need to neurally link with them and bind with them in order to maneuver around the planet that they're from, because we can't do it. Like, and so it's very fun, and it feels really nice on the Steam Deck. Like I have it on this is another great Steam Deck to your TV, sit on the couch with a controller kind of game, because it's like you shoot, you fight, you have all these different skills, and they're different. Even though you might have the same, you could look at them as a Voidling, the same creature, you've evolved them into different directions that maybe one of them you want to use because you're on a planet where you're going to be able to utilize ice more, or you fight with the fire one. And it's
but
cool
you've told us all about it. What's left for us to discover is like what's going on? What's next?
Well, what's next is there's so many. Like I've only discovered like the bird guys.
Okay.
There's like the bird guys, and then there's a whole bunch of
because if you keep going, it's just like what else is?
Just what else is there? Yeah. Well, there's a whole bunch. There's a whole story. I haven't even discovered it, but yeah, it's interesting. There's definitely a lot more depth to it. So I'm curious to dive in.
Next time you should come to the podcast with. What kind of Voidling quiz or so, like I want to know like
ooh, okay,
who am I in the Voidlings? What kind of Voidling?
Oh my God, yeah, like the back in the day, like what house of Harry Potter are you part of? Or take your personality quiz. It's take your Voidling quiz. Yeah.
What great house of Westeros are you? Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a pain. Payn, by the way. Okay, so the game I'm going to talk about is metrotown.gg. And guys, not going to, this one I'm giving you the heads up on. I kind of gave you guys the heads up on the Next Fest games that might not be in your algorithm. Hopefully that's cool. But this is pre-Steam. So right now, this is just an idea. Someone is saying, hey, look at what I have. Here's the website. Are you interested? Should I continue? And for me, yes, this is an urbanist city builder. So he says plan transit-oriented developments, master real-world municipal economics, and grow cities of millions. Nothing could be sexier to me. That's just like the perfect game. It has like a city's skylines level of realistic graphics. It has traffic and people simulation, land value, all of what you would want to expect if you wanted like a meaty, serious city builder. And one of the things that started my sort of radicalization journey on like urbanism and like understanding this auto-centric design that's throughout North America is the SimCity parking story. So when they were making SimCity, like the original SimCity 2000, I think, they were doing real life aerial scouting of cities just to get like an idea of like, oh, how does it look from an isometric angle in real life, right? And they were realizing that it was so ugly. The players were not going to want to see the level of parking lots and parking that a real city in North America had. They kept running into this thing where they were trying to do it a little bit more realistically and have parking lots. And it's like 30 to 40% of the map was parking lots. And it just wasn't going to work with what they wanted out of the game. So they scrapped parking lots altogether. And a lot of city builders don't authentically, like City Skylines and the City Skylines too, don't authentically represent the space that parking takes up. If you ever fly into a city, you immediately recognize, oh shit, a lot of this is just highways and parking lots. Like, does anyone fucking live here? Like the amount of room that the automobiles take up. And then, if you have these suburban developments that require you to have a car because there's no way you could take the bus, it would be too difficult. It would take like way too long. You factor all that in and you get these places that, in my opinion, are just less and less hospitable to actually live in. Anyway, so that's a little on my fucking. I'm poping to you right now. I'm pontificating. But what this game is you take a city that's like this and you make adjustments to slowly over time make it less car centric. And when you do that, land values go up and your tax base is stronger. And so it's just a snowball that keeps building. Amanda, quick quiz. Do you know what a TOD is?
Short answer, no.
Give me the long answer. What's the long answer?
Well, the long answer is I was gonna say that it's time over development, but that doesn't make sense. Yeah. I also don't know too many Todds, so yeah. I don't know him very well.
Right. I used to work for a Todd. He's a pretty cool guy. So TOD is transit oriented development. You know what a BRT is?
That makes me think of like bus regional transit or yeah.
Bus rapid transit. Bus rapid transit or bus regional transit, both work. And what is a YIMBY?
I feel like that's the opposite of a NIMBY, which I know a NIMBY is not in my backyard. So I feel like a YIMBY is yes in my backyard, or maybe yes in my backyard.
yes, Amanda. Ace the test, I think. So this game, if you know what any of these acronyms are, you should seriously consider visiting metrotown.gg and letting this guy know that, yeah, actually, I would be interested if you continue to develop this game. What you have so far looks kind of cool. I want to make a game that lets me load into like cities that exist in real life, like an Edmonton or a Calgary, and edit them so that, yeah, you could see like, oh, what if I did this? What would happen? Like a real life playground. A mixture of a game and like an ARC GIS like program. So I don't know. And does this speak to you at all?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm very fast. I think that's something that you and I actually overlap a little bit about, is that we both really like transit and are fascinated by it. And so I'm always down to try like any of these kind of games. Like I like a city builder where it feels a little bit more like a realistic city, but I also agree with you that at least majority of the cities I've been to in the US, yeah, they are just like, I don't know, like walking, sounds so dramatic, I guess, but they're just like walking death houses, or there's no walking. It's a walking graveyard, actually. It's just like the bones of, you need your car to go everywhere. It's like one of my biggest complaints anytime I go back to Michigan is that I'm just like, I can't make a Michigan trip work without a fucking car. Whereas where I live now, not a problem whatsoever, but that's because public transit is great where I live now. And in a way, that's by design. It's by people designing it. And even in my life, it's by design to choose to live to a place where I don't need the car as much. But you really, really see, like you were saying, how much time or how much space it takes up. And I think it's cool to have more of these games out there, especially if they can like reflect that, so then people could also actually see it too. Because like growing up, like I just thought that, yeah, you need your car to get anywhere. Car meant independence. Car meant I could actually go do things, but that's just because of where I was living, and that's just because they take up so much space. But the world can be different, and in any of these kind of city builders, you get to actually explore that and see what that's like when you design it. So I think it'd be super cool.
It is cool.
This looks nice.
Yeah. All right. Amanda, what's our community up to?
Well, our community from Discord, we've got a little bit of some questions, kind of a lot of, actually, I would say most of these are going to be statements instead of questions. So from Discord, Warconia says that I played Alien Isolation. It holds up really well. Single player, very atmospheric. They do a really good job to recreate the aesthetic of Alien. The alien itself is very creepy, and the way it moves around and looks at you is really realistic feeling. One of my favorite run and hide type horror games. So if anybody's interested in anything that's kind of like Amnesia, and you know that's not me, check out Alien Isolation. Mostly just because I'm a bitch and can't handle it, but like, yeah, Alien Isolation. I'm glad to hear that it holds up really well, because it's such a classic IP.
Yeah, I think I'm sold on Alien Isolation too on this comment here. Like, I never played the original Alien Isolation, but the movies of Alien is like I remember being like terrified as a kid. Like, I wasn't supposed to watch it, and like I went to my friend's house, and just having the nostalgia part of the run and hide, I think probably adds to it, right? And I didn't know that this was that type of game. I thought it was like a Dead by Daylight, where it was like an asymmetrical like multiplayer game. So that it's like single player, I think adds to it a lot for me. Thank you, Warconia.
Yeah, thank you, Barconius, for that. Yeah, Alien, the whole franchise terrifies me. I also watched it too young, and it's too scary, definitely. But I can appreciate a good horror game for sure. So I'm glad to hear it.
Did you ever you go back and they have the mouth in the mouth, and you're like, oh, that's ridiculous. But as a kid, I was like, oh my God. It reminded me of like an old person's dentures as a kid, which also terrified me. It's like very scary. Yeah.
Oh, so much of it. From YouTube, Marcoa7263 says, I watch all the trailers, but I use it to sustain my life force. He's talking about all the trailers for Games Showcase. Like Christian, when you said that, who watches all these trailers? Who watches everything? He does. So it sustains his life force. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And then also from YouTube, Jordan Back 2310 says, you know what he uses? OneDrive. Which Taylor would appreciate that. We'll have to let him know about that next. Yeah.
Taylor's not here right now. I had just real life things going on, but I know that wherever he goes, something will be with him together forever.
It's that one
Is that
drive.
That will never leave him. He's got to get the tattoo. You could pitch him like, hey, I'm really into OneDrive. Like, I think you pay for the tattoo.
Yeah. He would love that. But that's it. We've just got that. So for plug-in this week, I'm going to also plug, if anybody wants to leave us any kind of questions or comments, you can reach out to us either on Spotify, YouTube, or our Discord. We've got a nice little channel for that. And additionally, gonna be plugging our DLG Con and our last remaining couch that's costing just 135 decals. That's it. 135 Canadian decals. Do the math. That's pretty cheap in US freedom dollars. So come be free in the Great North. Come have a free, welcoming, fun weekend up in the Great North in Calgary. It's going to be such a fun time.
It's not even like a ratty couch. Like, I would say this couch is a 6 out of 10. It's not the best couch ever. It's decent. It's worth $135 for 3 days. What more do you want? It's a couch.
Totally. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, technically, depending on how you do it, it's gonna be 4 days, 3 nights, and a great time with a whole bunch of cool, fun people. Yeah. So that is definitely worth the 135 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So who are we shouting out, Christian?
Of course, we're always shouting out the executive producer, Truthbringer. Thanks you for executively producing this show. You give us a little bit more money than you have to on Patreon, which is awesome. You're kind of supporting us, maybe doing this full time one day. You know, every little bit of money counts that we can sort of squirrel away and spend on improving the show. So it is appreciated. And if that's something that you're listening and you're not Truthbringer and perhaps you're interested in, dlgaming.net, hit Patreon, just see if any of the goodies are for you and if you want to support us. And if so, check us that $5 a month. It's super appreciated.
Absolutely.
My name is Christian. Joining us today was Amanda.
And that's right. Tune in next week. Full disclosure, I haven't read this yet, but tune in next week because some of us are voids, others are lings, and the rest of us are bound in Voidling Bound.
I think that was a decent...
I will be playing Voidling Bound for sure and trying to catch them all. And playing us out today is music from Deus Ex. That's how I wanted to write it. Deus Ex. Goodbye. For some reason, it reminds me of like a 90s movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.